Okay, a little recording of Book Builder. So I do Book Builder and Cast when I search for it on the internet. So if I go there, it's going to ask you to create an account. I already have an account, so you go through the sign in, sign up process right now. I'm just going to sign in as me. Look, it's me. All right, so then what I'm going to do is I would go to create and edit my books because you guys will be creating a book. So when you go to build a book, basically you hit start a new book up top there. You can see my dashboard I actually have several already created. I'm going to create a book title. For assistive technology class, you're creating a book that's a social story. So basically you're teaching a behavior, an appropriate behavior. So don't cut in line, or don't pull your friend's hair, or don't throw your shoes in class, things like that. So don't run in the halls. So of course if it's got a red arrow, you're going to have to fill it out because it's a required field. So do that. And it's actually other because we're teaching life skills. And I'm going to shoot for 4th and 5th grade. Don't worry about genre. Sure. And I'm going to throw it in a landscape. So coaches are really good in terms of engaging students in reading because it allows them to do kind of more of a interactive reading format. So when we read, we should be asking, in terms of active reading, we should be asking ourselves questions as we go along and we actually read through a passage. That's really kind of what you're going to build in as coaches, because if you put a coach on every page asking some kind of prompting question about whatever happened on that page, that allows for the students to kind of process it at a deeper level. So I'm going to leave them here. They do speak back to you, so you can go through the voices at your leisure and test that out by hitting preview coach voices. Like I said, I'm just going to leave it the way it is for time's sake, because you can always explore that later on. When we get into our first page, it takes us to several selections on layout. So if I go to title page, it's going to migrate to that screen. So the thumb's going to actually appear as content. It gives me different content fields. So in there I could hit add text. And again, it's probably going to be title in case. So I'm going to bring it up size-wise so the contrast is good. Maybe change the color on it. Of course, you can drop the font family down too. They're web-based fonts, so that's why there is only a limited selection. Again, I'm going to put my title in there. Okay, I'm going to search for a little picture here so you can see what that looks like. So I'll go to images there. There's a good shot. I like that. So I'll save that image to my desktop, remembering what it's called. Then I'll go back to Book Builder. Then I'll add an image there. Important about web-based products and adding images, you always want to have like a caption on them. It's not really a caption, it's what's known as an alt tag to make it more accessible for individuals that have low vision or might be using a screen reader. So if I search for file, and of course it's in desktop, and I believe it had something to do with running in the halls. There we go. So if I put that one and then I hit upload, again, this is the field that needs to be filled out. So I'm going to put cartoon of, so I basically name the element. So if a screen reader is reading this back to the student, they're also included in that image. They understand what's going on the page that other people are seeing. So cartoon of 2 students running down a school hall. It's good enough for now. Don't need to fill out really anything else because at that point, if you add alt text, you become compliant with everything else. It should migrate, so it appears there, right? And then we could add other text. Again, so if I wanted to add something into the coach, do you run down the hall to change classes? And then progressively, after that initial page, it's going to kind of be shaping the child's behavior on what not to do, so what appropriate behavior is. So after I'm done that one, I would go to add a page after, because that was our title page. Okay, go to the next one, and then we choose basically a regular page layout. So I'm going to go with this. So basically I have an image up top, and then I'm going to have some text down the bottom. So for instance, if I want to put another image in there and I search for another image, I'll call it In a Hurry, and go like that, and something like that perhaps. Okay, except it's got a watermark on it, so I'm not in love with that. This one doesn't have a watermark, so I'll save that one. Except I don't want to save the link as, I want to save the image as. So 1911, good year. So I'll save that one, go back to Book Builder, again add an image. I will choose a file. I'll look for the one on my desktop that's labeled 1911, because I know that was the preface to it. Okay. And I'm going to picture of, it's again a cartoon of a woman in a hurry juggling a cell phone and other items. Okay, so and I'll hit upload there. Not a valid because it's a PNG file. Alright, so then I'd have to search for another image because it doesn't like PNG files. And let's see what this is. That's a JPEG. So we'll save that one. And what's it called again? Hurry JPEG. So then I'll go back to my Book Builder, add an image, choose a file, look for Hurry JPEG, open, upload, and then I rename it image, because it's not a cartoon, of a woman running, holding a big clock. And Dr. Ellis doesn't know how to spell. There we go. Okay, so again, it's going to upload there. Then I'll put in the text on what I want the students to actually decode there. So sometimes we feel like we are in a hurry and running out of time. Okay, again, since I'm probably dealing with a younger audience, I'm going to make things kind of bigger and bolder so they can access the material a little bit better. Go a little darker there. And I'm going to centralize that. Okay. Again, I'll add a coach. When do you feel like you are in a hurry? Okay. Save that. Okay, and then I could go to page after. You guys kind of get this set up, I'm sure, by now, because that's really what the formatting is on this type of software. So if I hit completed book and I hit saved, it takes me back to this general area. Okay, so it's basically a dashboard for myself. If I want to take a look and read it, okay, so that's what the preview is actually going to look like. What's cool about this is if I highlight this and I press play, let's try again with my volume on.
Don't run in the halls.
Okay, so it has synthesized text, so it actually reads back. Same thing with the coaches. Coaches will load and it'll read back to the students.
Do you run down the hall to change classes?
So if they have low vision or they actually have a text-based disability, so they have a hard time decoding written text, it will also compensate for that. Again, there's our girl running down the thing there. So you see if I hover over her, pop-up appears. That's the alt tag for that particular picture. Okay. Again, if I read back the whole thing, like if I go like that.
Sometimes we fell, like we are in a hurry and running out of time.
Yeah, and then I realized that
Pedro, F2.
Right. Okay, so that allows us to read it back, and then I realize I have a typo. It's not fell, it's feel. So if we want to go back and edit that because we've made a mistake, right? So what we can do is we can go back to our original page. So I'm just going to actually go back there. Okay. If I go back to edit, because even though it's published, it's still editable content. So again, I go down here and then I'm going to navigate using the arrows. So, and then what I'll do is I'll hit add edit text, feel, and then save. Let's say I wanted to help them build vocabulary so they don't understand. Again, there's actually a couple of typos. So hurrying, let's say we want to actually include that as a vocabulary item. So if I look for a definition of hurrying, something that's accessible probably to a 5th grade audience. So I'll do like that. So if I hit edit there again and I highlight that word and I press a little book item there, that's going to create a glossary list that I can define later because I don't actually have any definitions in at the moment. So you notice that it becomes highlighted like it's a hyperlink. Okay, if I hit save, it's going to refresh. If I want to go to a glossary, surprise, surprise, up top it's a glossary, I need to create a definition for hurrying as I'm hurrying through the rest of this lecture. Hit add edit and then drop that in there. You can also add pictures if you wanted to. You can also add speech if you want to record something. I'll return to the glossary. Okay, go back to edit the book. Okay, again, if I go to preview, go to page 2, you should see that I now have a glossary item that's clickable and it'll pop up. Again, that'll read back also to the student as well. Okay, once you're completed with the item and finished with your book, okay, what we'll do is we'll go back. So I'll go back to my main page. And then once I'm there, what I'll do is once it's published, so I need to publish this one out again because otherwise I can't hit the share. So I got to go back to it, say book completed, and then save. That's going to create this wonderful share button, and in that share I'm going to put jbellis@ashland.edu, and then you basically follow the rest of the parameters, the parameters for the assignment.